This is for YouTube. We're going to be recording the podcast. The feels like a podcast. The panel. My name's Dre Pao. I'm going to be moderating. My background is in songwriting. I also help brands to build their social media strategies and have a background in music media. We're going to start on that end with Brittlestar. He's going to introduce himself, and then we're going to get started.
My name's Stuart Reynolds, and go by Brittlestar online. I've been doing social media videos since about 2013 as a full-time job. And that's what came up on Vine, did a bunch of funny sort of original stuff. Well, I thought it was funny, and turned it into other stuff. And now I'm on a bunch of other platforms, and we make original content as well as content for brands. And that's how we get paid.
I'm Joey Castillo. I'm the weekend announcer on Energy 95.3 right here in Hamilton. I also co-host a podcast called Homegrown Sounds with a coworker of mine, Nancy. It's pretty much we get local or established artists on and we just talk about their stuff, and they also sing some stuff. One of your classmates was on the actual one of our first episodes. Bang, gang, Avery. And and then that's pretty much it. I went to Humber to do broadcasting. I graduated. I then went to Toronto. I then got a job in Toronto for promotions. I then went on air overnights for free in Toronto. That got me a job out west in Saskatchewan, some little small shitty town. And then that gave me a job to come back here in Hamilton. And
is that near Little Shitty, Saskatchewan? That's on the Little Shitty River, isn't it?
Right, like 250 kilometers east.
Right, that's what I thought. So it's right next door. You can see it. It's flat.
Yeah, if you break up with your girlfriend in Saskatchewan, you can see her walk away for like a week. And that's it. And then now I'm here making jokes with everybody.
My name is Kaden Black. I'm a record producer, songwriter. I have about 20 years in the industry. I've recorded at a lot of studios around North America and Europe, including Abbey Road Studios. I have also written for Warner Records, Sony ATV. I was in a writing group with a bass player for Our Lady Peace. I was the guitar player for Fifi Dobson when she did her comeback back in 2010, I think. 2009. And since then, I've just been developing young artists and helping them reach their goals and doing panels and just spreading information. So.
Just out of curiosity, how many artists do we have making music in the room?
Oh, wow. Damn.
Okay,
nice.
Good. Better than the last group.
And has a YouTube channel? And who uses Instagram?
Everybody's hand better can go up, yeah.
And Snapchat was the other one? Snapchat.
How about Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Twitter?
Nah. Twitter?
Okay.
And TikTok, which...
One person has TikTok.
Yeah, it's very
I just learned that Brittlestar is huge on TikTok, apparently.
I'm big with the tweens.
All right, well, what I wanted to start this conversation with is a lot of you guys, this is grade 11, 12, is that where everybody is? So a lot of you guys are about to go into university or maybe not, go into college or pursue something on your own. So I want to start the conversation. We could start with Andre. I want to get to know what you guys were thinking when you were in grade 11, 12 and what journey you pursued
You want to know what I was thinking when I was in grade 11? Do you really want to know that? I think you want to know that.
What did you do to take that first step that you would recommend could help artists maybe not make some of the mistakes you made?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a completely different time when I was starting out, coming out of high school, to when you guys were coming out. So what I was doing would be a completely different plan for what you guys should be doing. But for you guys, I think it's really important that if you're getting into the arts or if you have music, is branding, I think, is super important, and just making sure that you're on all platforms and making sure your music is improving over time and you're going to networking events and you're meeting people. I think that's super important to start, and just learn as much as you can and work for free and just don't waste your money on stupid shit and just kind of stay focused on your brand and just trying to get those numbers up,
I want to ask a question to you guys with music or whatever. What do you guys want from your music? Like, what are you guys trying to do?
What are your goals?
Not everybody at once. Or go down, up.
What kind of performer? So do you want to dance or do you want to sing or what? Well,
Multidimensional.
How is it? You should focus on one and go for it, because honestly, you're not going to become a multi-instrumentalist and be such good multi-instrumentalist to get on stage with a Prince. So focus on one thing, master the shit out of it, and then look for opportunity. You know, because I see too many young people. It's okay to like start different businesses and get your hands dirty with different things, but if it's one thing as like you're saying, a performer, it's like, don't try to do everything. Focus, okay, cool, dancing, great, go and really kill it. You know what I mean? If it's going to be singing, then go and really get your singing voice where it needs to be and make those connections, because they're going to be totally different avenues that you're going to be going to. And it's just going to mix everything up kind of thing. And you'll just be a jack of all trade and master of none, and no one's going to hire you.
But over time, you can start to branch out into different things, I think. Like you can do like the Lady Gaga thing where she did the Grammy thing, then she moved on to acting and.
Yeah, through years.
That's what I, like,
Yeah.
like performing, like you can perform in any different capacity, you know, like you could like, you don't have to be like, as you said, like obviously like master things, and that's what I'm doing.
I love that.
And like, you know, you could dance a little bit while singing, and you could perform
Sure.
in an audience. Not
Totally.
If
Yeah,
that's
right.
your shtick, yeah, for sure.
I think that's what Andre's saying is basically like with Prince, the example of Prince, phenomenal entertainer. I wouldn't go see Prince for his dancing. I would go to see him for his singing. And man, he can dance. This is the idea. It's, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Just make sure you're focusing on a primary goal.
I think somebody else had a question.
I really want to be a modern musician who incorporates whistling and like storytelling into modern music. I feel like a lot of it is all just pop love songs or something along those lines. And I want to bring like that Christopher, like Harry Chapin storytelling aspect back to music.
Awesome.
Have you been to Nashville? Have you been to Nashville yet? Nashville. Yeah, Nashville would be a good trip for you. There's a lot of great songwriting there, and it's really story-based.
Thank you so much. I'll write that down.
Yeah, Bluebird. Yeah. Ever watch Nashville? Nashville's a good show. Avery, you're up.
I think just the main goal in like general would just be to make whatever your audience is feel something. That's kind of just where my end goal would be, I guess, with regards to all of that. And if you have anything to say to that, that would be lovely. But
Yeah, so that's your goal, is just making people feel something.
feel something, like it doesn't matter if they like music or not. Just feel something.
Do you want to do music for a full-time thing? So it does matter whether they like your music or not. What's that? Okay, that's good. It's hard to know your history and what you're doing, but
Don't
like,
sell yourself short.
yeah. You're making money doing music now.
Yes.
That's amazing. What are you doing?
I just put out my third solo album.
Good.
I do about 50 to 60 shows a year.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm a singer, so what I want to do is fulfill my dream to be a singer, and not only for the money and for the fame, but to be an inspiration to people. So that's what's mostly I'm in for.
Know your market. Just make sure you're writing the proper music and using the proper lyrics, and make sure the content you're putting out on social media is going to attract that brand. That's super important if that's what you're looking to do to accomplish with your music.
And I just want to say that this group is super mature. Like I'm thinking of my grade 11, 12 class, and it's good that you guys have these goals and that you're focused.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you build a successful brand on Instagram?
That's your man.
Man, I'm so sorry that you're stuck with me answering this question. I mean, Instagram is really interesting because it's kind of changing a little bit. There's sort of been a trend in the past few months, literally in the past few months, to go from that sort of perfect Instagram shot and that sort of like really, perfected and poised sort of content that you're doing and posting consistently to much more vlog casual style of like just sort of behind the scenes sort of quick shots. I don't know if there's necessarily one specific way to crack it. I noticed from a marketing perspective, it's super important for you to continually post things, but not like flood the market, but like if it's been 3 days since you posted, you should probably post again. I'm terrible at that kind of consistency, but I know I should be better at it. And then also engaging with people you follow, like commenting. I have a bunch of friends that we've made over the past 6 years of doing social video. And whenever I go to like the bigger accounts that are out there, it's always people I know who are commenting, "That's hilarious, man," or "That's really great," or whatever. "This is really fantastic," just to sort of keep your name constantly popping up. And then you get that sort of peripheral traffic of people going, "Who the hell is this guy?" Clicking on your profile, going, "Oh, I like this too," and finding it. Instagram's super hard to grow on because there's no lateral sharing like Twitter or Facebook. So that's kind of the best way you can do it, is like get your hands dirty and go right into it.
I think you need to be consistent. That's a big thing. A good combination of professional and human stuff. Make sure if you are doing, professionally edited content, you also want to throw in some selfie videos. You want to also show that you're not a business, you're a human being, sort of thing. Because things are so artificial today, if you could do things that are authentic, that's the number one way, I think, to stand out. And when you want to do things that are professional, I'm not saying that you need to go hire thousands of dollars worth of equipment and people. Doing things like using a gimbal or something to stabilize. You can get like a $50 tripod at Best Buy, and you get a $100 mic that plugs into your phone. Having it well lit and mic'd is going to make your stuff stand out significantly. It's not going to cost you a lot of money, and people are going to be like, "Hey, this looks great. I can't really tell, but it still seems authentic, but well done." And as well as engaging with people, being social. It's social media, social. Reaching out to people, commenting. The days of following 200 people and hoping that some follow you back doesn't work anymore. So now you just really have to build relationships. Find people you're inspired by and be like, "Hey, your stuff's great. How can I help you?"
Yeah, and one more thing I'd like to say is, if you guys don't even know where to start when it comes to posting, a good rule of thumb, I wrote this down, you should be posting in 3 different parts. So split your post in 33%. The first one, you should be brand focused, so pretty much tour dates, music videos, anything that has to do with your brand. Second would be personal life posts, so who you are, maybe you're at a party or whatever. And then the third would be things that you enjoy, or things that make you excited, so like studio gear or something like that. So if you kind of look at posting and you're unsure what to post, and you're not sure if you're posting too much of this or that, that's kind of a good guideline to just kind of give you an idea of how you should be splitting up your posts on Instagram.
I think this is a good segue, and it seems like this group's really inspired to do something like networking. Just to talk a bit about networking and the importance of connecting with people, whether it be in social media, and just as important, if not more important, going out to events, meeting people in person, and connecting with the industry. As much as it seems music industry is massive, it's such an intimate group of people. And just like connecting with Andre, for example, we realized, wow, we have so many mutual friends in the industry, so tight-knit. So, I mean, whoever wants to start, if you want to start with us.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think one of the things you forget when you're doing social and you're on your phone and you're connecting, online with people, for a long time I was convinced, I don't need to go talk to people. I can talk to them on my phone. Why would I ever want to meet someone in person? And I learned that when you go out to, like for social, we go to events like VidCon or Playlist or something, and it's super important, or going to meetups and that type of thing is super important as well, because people are people, like humans are humans. And for a variety of reasons. One, it's really good as a creator, as a musician or whatever you create, to go out and actually meet the people who are consuming what you are creating, to find out who are they, what are they like, what are their lives like, and to get feedback directly from them. And that's also good for motivating you, and it's good for guiding your decisions. It's also good from a business perspective, from a networking perspective, because it literally is the devil you know. If you're the guy who's at a record label or the guy who's at an agency, and you've got an opening or a need for a certain type of person or a certain musician, you go, you know what? I met this guy and he was super nice, so I'm going to call up that guy, give him a shot, see if he can do it. If I got a choice between this guy and somebody I don't know, I'm going to choose this guy.
Yeah, that actually works a lot for radio. I mean, I'll tell you some radio stuff that could help, but that would help even in anything that you do when it comes to connects. It's always, for example, for our stuff, you can send your audio to other bosses in other markets. It's good to do that because, one, you're now on their radar. They now hear you, and also, two, you're also asking them for help. So they know that you're not there just for your own whatever. You're there for help, so they'll guide you to. And also that same thing that Stuart just said, if ever down the road a full-time opportunity job opens up, they'll be like, oh, yo, Joey every month sends me stuff, and he's actually listening to my feedback, and he's working on it. I'm going to let Joey do it. So it's just always be consistent. Don't be overly consistent. Like don't like spam the dude or spam the girl. Give yourself some time to send stuff and send all your stuff and always ask for feedback. And that's how you build connects, because it's true what these two were saying with everybody knows each other. In radio, it's so huge, but everybody does know each other. So also remember, don't be a dick. Don't be an idiot either too when you're in the business, because that spreads quick. And I'll tell you, there's so many people that haven't succeeded in radio because of that reputation. So it's just always remember that. Always be consistent with people. Keep that relationship going. Even if you don't have any new things to send to that person, just be like, yo, what's up? Like, how are you today? Or what's going on in your life today? To keep that relationship fresh still.
Human connection, I think, is the best form of connection still to this date. If I get a lot of DMs and if I don't have time, I'm not going to reply to some random guy or girl who just, messaged me their link or messaged me a question or something. If it was someone I met, and I had a human connection with, I might take that extra second just to be like, hey, I'll get back to you in a second. I'm just busy this week, but I'll get back to you,
And I'm just going to add to what Andre said there. One thing that even something small like this, there's still huge help here for whatever you guys are looking for, or even if more questions, because we noticed from the other group that left, out of all the people that are here, just one person came to the panel after to ask more questions. Mm-hmm. And it kind of sucks because it's like, what are you guys doing? Like, you guys have a chance here to pick the brains of people, right, to get maybe where you want to go with their help. And what happened, Andre gave his card to the kid. So that now that's a connect that he can have and revisit. So that's what I'm just saying. So just remember, there's always stuff that you can find a connection somewhere.
To be fair, that last group, the guy that came up at the end was the only good one. The rest of them were idiots compared to this group.
And I think building on that, a big thing is DMs. Don't spam, but just an example I wanted to give was this whole group was created from DMs. These are 3 people that I've been inspired by who are doing great stuff in and around Hamilton. And I just reached out and said, hey, I love what you guys are doing. Do you want to be on this panel?
The shirtless picture helps too, though.
Yeah, that always helps.
But, and people are going to say no. People are going to ignore you. But at the same time, like, you just keep going and you recover and you build relationships that way.
It shouldn't even bother you that people aren't getting back to you, because you're already you're already messaging the next batch of people anyway. And if they get back to you, that's cool, but you should be hustling so hard that it doesn't even matter. You don't even have time to think about that person not getting back to you. If you're not working that hard, you're not working hard enough.
And also, don't count anybody out. I know so many producers that I've talked to that are like, yeah, in order to get into the door, I used to bring these guys coffee. And then he worked his way up, and now he was producing for, some of the biggest names in the industry. I think being nice to everybody and treating everybody equally sounds cliche, but it's so important. You know what I mean? You don't know who someone's going to grow up to be. You don't know who's going to go where. You have to be respectful and treat everybody the same.
That's a big lesson that I learned in the past 4 years, was that you don't know who knows who. So you might be talking to someone and they're like, oh, I work in the sales office of whatever company. You're like, oh, well, who cares?
Have you put your foot in your mouth before?
Well, no, I haven't, luckily. I almost have.
Holy man.
But then you find out, oh, no, they're really good friends with so-and-so who is actually the head of whatever, and exactly who you need to be connected with. So yeah, I think don't be a dick and sort of be nice and try to be nice to people, because you have no idea how, everyone is so connected, as Joey said.
So connected.
Sure.
Do we have any questions before we continue? Nope. I think one thing that is big at this age is it comes to the point where you're getting pressure from some family members, people saying, hey, let's forget about this music thing. Like, you need to start being realistic. Go get a real job. You have to make money right now, which is complete bull. And I'm sure all of us have dealt with it in some form along the way. What is some advice for dealing with this stuff? I'm going to start with Brittlestar, because you have a family that's doing things on YouTube together, and they're blessed to have a dad who's encouraging that.
They are blessed to have me as a dad. I think that the thing to remember is that no job is safe. You could take out a loan for $500,000 and open a Max convenience store, or Circle K, I guess it's called now, Circle K convenience store, and you could be out of business in a year. So it's not like you can sort of just choose something you're going to be a guaranteed job. You need to do what you're going to be able to do for a long term, that you're going to enjoy. You only have one life, as far as I know. So it's good for you to do something that you can do well and that you're going to be happy doing for the next, so many years. It's a business is the thing to remember as well, is where you're actually doing this stuff. It's fun, but it is a business part, and you have to focus on getting better and learning as much as you can.
Yeah, for me, for radio, that's the one thing that even taught us in school. Like, if you're in this for the money, get out of the radio, because like you make nothing in radio. And it's true, you don't make much in radio. You don't. There are some people in like big markets that do make a lot of money, but that's a rarity, right? So that's one thing they also have to realize, and just give yourself a reality check. Do I love this enough to not make as much money? Do I enjoy it so much that my paycheck is not going to really matter at the end of the day? And if for the most part it's no, then you got to look at something else. And maybe just this thing would be just a hobby of yours. So just give yourself a reality check is my thing too. Because I've been looking at it too as like, yeah, I'm on the radio and stuff. Is paycheck good? If that's what you're worried about, then it's not for you.
Yeah, 100%. I think at the end of the day, I've met just as many people who failed with college and university that they failed with music, and they paid more for that college and university. I know people who are $80,000 in debt who now can't find a job because the market just isn't open as much as it used to be, or maybe they're working another job and had nothing to do with their first one. So, any risk, any idea or anything you jump into is going to come with risks. So all you can do is kind of stay positive and keep working, and know that it's a marathon and it's not a race. Because if you think that your music's just going to blow up, and there is a small percentile that do, you have to be okay that it might take 3-4 years to actually get somewhere where you're actually making some income. But you're going to have to put a lot of money and time. I think time is the biggest thing into your brand and developing that, because it's just like any other company,
Yeah, that's a main thing is realizing it's not going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like Lil Hank Williams, the man took off with the yodeling at Walmart, but that's like a rarity, man.
Yeah.
For the most part, there's like other people that took 4 years, 5 years, 10 years.
Yep.
So just realize if it doesn't happen for you tomorrow or next week, doesn't mean it's never going to happen to you.
Yep.
It's not right now.
And I think the same thing that you said about broadcasting is the same thing with music. If you're going to music because you want to be a millionaire and you want to make a lot of money, it's not the right thing for you to pursue. At the same time, if you find that music isn't enough for you to make money, don't be afraid to dip into different things. We see a lot of artists today being multidimensional and doing different things. So I mean, it's never too late to start something new, and don't feel like, oh wow, I'm doing this one thing right now, I need to do it for the rest of my life. It's like, find yourself. This is a period where you can try different things. You can dip, you can taste in different stuff. Don't go all in on one thing if you don't feel it's right for you. I think I'm being told to wrap up.
Wow,
Is
that's
there any
fast.
questions that we could take before we go? Yes.
How do you know when you're ready to release like your personal music? Like
You'll-
in the world, direct legacy.
My perspective, you're always going to be in your own head. You're always going to have something to doubt yourself. You need to just push through that mental stuff. Now, also being sure if you want to compete like on a radio level, making sure that the quality is right. If you can't produce it yourself, maybe work with a producer and find the right person. I'll let Andre expand on
Yeah, I think
that.
a team is what you need to build right now. I mean, like, that's the most important thing for all musicians and artists and stuff like that. You need to start developing a team of people that you get behind you and help you, whether it's production, because as an artist, like, it's cool doing all your own stuff, but to be honest with you, why not just go to people who are really good at those individual things to make your brand stronger? Because a lot of the stuff that I hear that people are self-producing sound like shit. And like, honestly, it's no offense, man, you just don't have the experience. So why would you put it out there? If you don't know how to edit vocals properly, why are you editing them, right? So go work a job, save some money, work with someone who knows how to do it alongside them, learn, and then take that and release your own stuff. But anyone who's just releasing and recording their own music, like, it's brave of you and everything. That's good that you're starting out. But I think the real way to grow is just to start working with people who know what they're doing, and you can learn from them before just guessing.
Final.
What's the best way to find new producers? Because I have a producer, and I'm kind of veering off into a different kind of like sound that he's comfortable with, and I just felt like
Conferences, songwriting camps, Instagram, hashtags, just open your eyes and just make sure you're connecting and networking, Huge, yeah. Yeah, make sure you go to Canadian Music Week. Even if you don't have wristbands, you can hang out in the lobby of the Sheraton Hotel, and everybody hangs out there. Everyone. You don't need wristband. Just go to the Sheraton and hang out the lobby, straight up.
How did you guys
I was obsessed. I mean, I don't know. That's all I knew. Yeah.
I think, I don't know, it's something that you know, even if you're not getting paid, you still want to do it and you want to put all of your time into it. And at the same time, I think with all creativity, I'm sure you guys could say the same thing, there's always going to be doubt. There's always that voice in your head that when you're starting out, like, is this the right thing? But I think when you get lost, like when I'm in the studio, we were talking about it, you forget to eat, you don't know what time it is, you get so into the music that it's just the only thing that matters. And I think when you can do that with something, that's when it's the right thing.
All right, yeah, you have to get your
All right, he's
Okay.
kicking us out.
Yeah, get your camera out of the box.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.